Hello my friends, how are you? I'm Michelle and this is my channel Penny's Daughter Shares, where I talk primarily about cross stitch. Sometimes there are other crafts involved. Today is all about the cross stitch. How are you doing? I hope this video finds you doing very well. I don't have any big life updates. And I have lots to share that is cross stitch related. So I want to head into that fairly quickly by me saying thank you for everyone who sent me encouraging notes and comments from my last video for the upcoming Washington, D.C. trip for my 8th grader, where, we have to send him off by himself. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It helps, and it definitely helps to hear that others of you have been through it and you understand. Oh, one more bit of housekeeping that I forgot to ask is if you like what you see, please hit the like button. Also, if you're not a subscriber, please do so. And if you would like, also hit the bell and it will send you a notification when I upload new videos. And as I'm talking, I'm realizing I'm also forgetting to welcome any of you who are new. Thank you so much for joining me. And for all of you who have been here before, thanks so much for coming back. And let's see. Okay, let's continue with the thank yous, because this is going to lead into the stitching, which is what you're here for, I think. So on my last video, I shared this great big beautiful finish behind me. It's a Teresa Kogut sampler called Faith, Hope, Peace, Love. And if you're interested in all the details in that, please refer back to Flosstube 43, where I share all about it. And the story behind it and everything. I have my frame ordered. I think I shared that with you before. I'm waiting for it to come. I knew it was going to take a few weeks, so I'm patiently waiting, and I will get that put together when it gets here. Or, lace it and frame it. Not just put it together. So also on my last Flosstube, I shared that I had been tossing around the idea of something crazy awesome. Actually, the last 2 videos, I think we've talked about this. Crazy awesome, start 50 things, and didn't really have a time frame. And then as I've heard from some of you and talked to some of my friends, we sort of talked about it being stretched out over a year. And I know for sure in the last video, I asked for help on coming up with a hashtag, because then anyone that wants to participate can, or you can follow it along to follow my adventure. And I'm going to call this an adventure. And so did I say thank you? Thank you for anyone that gave me ideas for hashtags. I think once I share the hashtag that I decided on, there's many of you that are going to be like, that's something that I shared as an idea. So everything, I feel like it all just kind of got put in a pot and melted down, and I came up with what I wanted to do. So let's talk about the hashtag. I'm going to put it right here so that you can see it. And like I said, then you'll be able to follow it along on Instagram if you choose. And what I decided on is Celebrate 50 Start Along. And that now let me explain what I'm doing. It originally started as maybe 50 new starts, and then maybe starting number 51 on my birthday next year to kind of wrap it up and bring it all together. And as I've been kitting things and maybe purchasing a few more things and kitting up new things, which I think I've told you before, I love that part. Love, love, love it. So I don't think I'm gonna have a problem having 50 new starts. In fact, honestly, I think it's gonna be more than 50 between now and next year's birthday. And that's also a loose time frame. So Celebrate 50 Start Along is about celebrating my birthday for a whole year, why not? And just celebrating the start of projects. So celebrate starts. And what I'm finding is how much fun it is to get to use all the different fabrics and flosses that I keep collecting and don't always have a plan in place, I guess, that allows me to be touching them and actually be stitching on them and with them all the time. So that part alone has been really, really fun. I'm going to have what I'm calling a parade of starts because I have 10, yes, I said 10 starts since my last video. So that's in less than 2 weeks of time. See what I'm saying about it, maybe more than 50 starts? We'll see how I'm going. Right now I'm having fun with this. You know, I'm going to have some months or weeks or days that I don't feel like starting things, and that's obviously going to be okay. I want this to be fun, and so I'm not putting a lot of pressure on myself for it to be set with a certain number because, and I'm not saying I'm going to do this because I don't know if it will work with my family, but for an example, a lot of people will do 12 new starts for New Year's Eve and do 12 all in one day. That would be really fun, but I don't know that that works in sort of our family dynamic and sort of like playing games and just hanging out and stuff. You know, that's more of a mom doing that all by herself thing. So, but maybe I'll have several new starts for the new year over a period of several days. Who knows? But like I said, I just wanted it to be about celebrating the starts, having fun with it, no specific time frames, no specific number of starts or when or whatever. And so this is where you come in. If you would like to join me, let's celebrate the starts. And if a lot of starts for you is 5, great. Or maybe it's only a couple. I don't even know. Maybe it's something crazy like 100. I mean, that is crazy awesome, right? Great. Let's just all have fun with it and get to see what everyone's starting. And maybe we'll get a few finishes along the way. So I think I explained it. It's very general. I'm clearly calling it a start along because that's what this is about. No schedule, no requirements, except to share in the joy of what this lovely hobby is. And I think I said this, so you can follow the hashtag over on Instagram. I've already been sharing my starts on Instagram, so if you follow me there, you've seen a lot of these. Also, I have had several people who are joining me, one being Jen from Two Tall Stitchers and from my birthday surprise fame. She is going to do it like she said. I am not doing 50 starts, but I've got several kitted up and I'm going to join in the fun. So you can come on over there and see even a little bit more about it. With that, if you have any questions about what I'm doing here, let me know down below. Send me a private message on Instagram, send me an email, whatever you would like, and let me know what your questions are, or if you want to participate but you don't post on Instagram, maybe that is an option too. I think I covered it. Let's begin the start parade, the parade of starts. My first start is housed in this beautiful French General Fabrics bag made by Tara at Starry-Owl-Stitchery. And I've had a comment about all of my cool project bags in my photos so far on Instagram. And just so that everyone is clear, I do not have 50 project bags. So there's going to be multiple projects in some of these bags, and I'm hoping to collect a few more that go along with other projects. But when I got this bag not too long ago, I thought it was perfect to house this particular project. It is Pink Barn from the Artsy Housewife. And I know I've showed this to you before that I wanted to get it started. Well, once I finished that big boy back there, then it was like, okay, yes, this is going to be my first start. I am going to do the best I can with my flosses and showing you some of this stuff. Anyone that's been around, you know that I tend to, well, I don't tend to, I do bobbinate all of my floss, even the overdyes. So for an example, here is color in cotton, and I wrap everything. That makes it hard for me to show on the video. So I'll do the best I can. Again, questions, let me know. So this is Pink Barn from the Artsy Housewife. Here is my start. Isn't that cool? Oh, I love these colors so, so much now that I get to use them and try them out. Let me see here what I am stitching this on. This is 40 count from XJuDesigns, and it is the color Farm Eggs. Since it's 40 count, that means I'm stitching one floss thread over 2 linen threads. And I just love this fabric, this piece even. And I thought it went perfectly well if it's called Farm Eggs and it's with a pink barn, right? This project is charted all in DMC. I'm using mostly the called for DMC. I did substitute a few overdyed floss colors. There are 2 shades of green. I'm using some color in cotton that I have from the monthly clubs, and that was just because I preferred the shade of them to what was called for. And then the other main difference, well, there's a couple. One, I am using an overdyed for the tree because I want some variegation in the color of the leaves. And as charted, the border, the cow, and the tree all are the same charted color. I am going to use Classic Colorworks Black Coffee for the cow. And then I might have a couple other changes as I'm going through. So that is my start. Am I holding that the right way? Yes. Pink Barn from the Artsy Housewife. And as I'm talking about this, did I share this already? I think I did. Well, you're getting a bonus. Since I'm doing the parade of starts, we are doing it a second time. And I'm going to try to chat while I put things back in their bags so that I don't lose anything or misplace it or get mixed up and then I can't find it later. All right, number 2 is in this beautiful bag from Jenni at Jenni Stitching Simply, and this is part of her monthly bag club, and I love it. It's not very fall specifically, But like I said, I don't have enough project bags for every single project, so I'll use some cute bags that may or may not perfectly coordinate with things. And let's see. Chart picture would be good here, Michelle. Okay, this is, like I said, number 2. This is from Stacy Nash. It is Oak Leaf Manor Pin Keep Drum. And just so everyone's aware, this drum is very big. I can't remember if the diameter of it is 6 inches or 7 inches. So it's going to be big and beautiful when it gets done. I got this as a kit from Country Sampler. It's part of their Country Samplers Girls Club. So as far as I know, it's not widely available yet. It's possible if you really love this, it's possible that Country Sampler has some. I don't know. But if you really loved it, you could always check. And so because it's a kit, I am stitching on the called for linen, which I can't ever remember what it is. So give me just a second here to find it. Okay, it is 36 count from Seraphim, and it's the color Antique Lace. Although I do wonder if this is Antique Lace because the color doesn't seem like it to me. But that's what it says on the chart. So that's the only information I have. And I'm trying to figure out which direction do I turn this in. All right, so my start is on the side of the drum. So you can see I pulled a thread out of my linen. This piece would unfold and be a big square for me to stitch the top of the drum. But I really wanted to start the side because I love the oak leaves and the acorns. These are all Weeks Dye Works called for colors. And these colors are just so beautiful to stitch with. See what I mean? Like I get to start these and I get to use them. And this orangish kind of color for the border is a shade from Weeks Dye Works that I've never stitched with before. Nothing has ever called for it. And it is gorgeous. And the variation in it, I just love. So that is my start on... Right? I'm holding that the right way. Yes. So this is one end. This will be the bottom of the border for the outside of the drum. So yeah, so that is Stacy Nash, Oak Leaf Manor Pin Keep Drum. And like I said, it is a kit. Only available as a kit if they still have some available at Country Sampler or from Country Sampler. Will it be available? I think so because Stacy has released all 3 other drums that were part of this series. Those have been released now, so I would assume this one will get released, but I'm not Stacy, so I can't tell you when. All right, number 3. Oh, and that reminds me, I'm going to try really hard not to say, all right, okay, too many times. I find myself doing that a lot when I go back to edit my videos. Let's see, make sure that I'm not showing you anything. Well, I can show you the back. Here we go. This cute bag was a gift, and it is from the Painted Leaf Company on Etsy, and love this fabric. This is from 2 years ago. It might be 2 years old. So I'm guessing that it's probably not available, probably not this fabric, right? We all know how fabric, they make so much of it and then that's it. So, but beautiful bag and I love it. And here's one of my favorite parts about it. It has an accessory bag with it. Let's see. So I put all my floss in it. Okay, chart picture. I had to think about where I was at. This is the pumpkin house from Liz Mathews. And I know lots of people have started this. I wanted this from when I saw it a year ago and it came out in the kitten stitcher box. I was dying for it. So with the starts, here we go. I get to start it. So let me show you where I started and then I can show you the rest of the pieces, because I don't know if you're aware, this is stitched on two separate pieces of linen in two different colors, and then you put them together when you get done. So let me show you where I started. Here is my start. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, love it so much. These were hard to put away, but then I'm so excited to keep starting new things. So there are trade-offs. This particular piece of fabric is Midnight Ride from XJuDesigns. It's 40 count. That means I'm stitching 1 floss thread over 2 linen threads. And if you've been here a while, you know that blue is not my favorite. And so to be honest, I was a little not so sure about the blue until I saw this fabric from Jukas and stitching on it, and the called for DMC conversion stitched on this, because that's what I'm stitching with, the Liz's DMC conversion. It's so gorgeous. I love, love, love it. And it is just very fun to stitch on. And even though it's a darker color, I didn't find that it was difficult to stitch on, where like black can be. Now my piece for the bottom part where the pumpkin patch is another piece of farm eggs from XJuDesign. And it is also 40 count. And that way, so now I've used the same fabric dyer and the same counts. So hopefully this will get put together very smoothly. Let's see, I told you I'm stitching 1 floss thread over 2 linen threads and showed you my beautiful start. I'll show you one more time. Those colors just, oh, look so good. Look so, so good. And yeah, so that is the pumpkin house from Liz Mathews. And like I said, I need to come up with some other things to kind of chat about as I'm working along with this. And so I apologize as I'm making chit chat as I put things away, if I repeat some things as we're going along. But if you've been around, you know I get really excited. And that's, I tend to do when I get excited, is I can repeat things. It's just really super fun to be doing this. And like I said, getting to use all the different things that I've been collecting where I just don't always get to pick them up and use them all the time. This bag is from my friend Katie. She is Green Cottage Quilts on Etsy. And this is Tim Holtz fabric, and she made it 2 years ago. Yes, 2 years ago when Brenda Gervais came out with Jack-o'-lantern Jubilee. Yes. And she found this fabric and made this bag, and it's, let me show you the inside of it here. If I pull my stuff out so you can see, here's what's the inside. So totally cute. And I love Tim Holtz fabrics. They're grungy just enough, and you know, they're just my vibe. Okay. Chart picture for What number is this? Number 4. Start number 4 of the parade is from Teresa Kogut, Hazel's Halloween Friends. Bring that in so you can see it a little bit closer up. And I got this when it came out, I think. And I've had it kitted up for quite a while, just haven't gotten it started. So guess what? I get to start it, and it is so fun to stitch, as you'll see, because I did quite a bit on this one. I just couldn't put it down. Here is my start. Isn't it cool? And then look at that fabric. How cool is it gonna look when it gets some more stitched and the modeling on this fabric? It will look so good. All right, so I am stitching this, and I just did it. All right. I am stitching this on 40 count brown sand from XJuDesign. And I don't know if it's showing up very well on the video. The background is kind of almost a purpley gray, and then the modeling is a really warm brown tone. So I'm not sure, but so the floss colors really show up nice on this fabric. I am using Teresa's Called For Flosses, which is a mix of Classic Colorworks, Weeks Dye Works, and DMC. Now the one sort of substitution that I made for the overdyed flosses, Teresa gave DMC suggestions, and the green, which there's not much on yet. Yeah, it's just this one little piece in the border so far, but will be the witch. Also, I used her DMC substitution suggestion. I just liked the shade of it better than the overdyed Called For. So otherwise, all stitched in Called For flosses. And I love her skirt. I love her shoes. So cute. And I could not put this down until I had that skirt finished. So I worked quite a bit on that one. This is so much fun to stitch, and I cannot wait to work on it some more. I know I've already said this multiple times. I have a hard time putting away some of these. Others just don't flow right from the start. Not that I won't enjoy stitching them over time or to be able to have the finish done. But some just, love. This is one of them. Love, love, love. So that is Hazel's Halloween Friends from Teresa Kogut. And put that bag back in there. And the floss so I don't lose it or misplace it or whatever. Is it okay if it's not zipped? I think so. Let's stand those up. That might be a little better. Okay. All right, now we will move into, I just did okay and all right all in one sentence. Up next is start number, actually, let's see. I have start number 5, 6, and 7 all in this bag. This is from Tara at starryowlstitchery, and just love it for Halloween. The reason I have these 3 projects, so 5, 6, and 7 in this bag, is they are all from Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. Let me get my little zipper charm. I'm not calling it the right thing. I'm having a blank. Anyway, it was making a lot of noise as I set it on my desk. So, I'm sorry. All 3 of these are witch-themed Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread patterns. So, I'm putting them all in the same bag, and they're all on the smaller side for stitching wise. Okay, up for number 5 is a witch in her garden, the pin keep drum. And I do plan to finish it as a drum. I don't have the pumpkin stem, I'll make one, but I do have the velvet to do the top. And let's see, let's get out. This is a teensy tiny start because I started all 3 of these all at once, all in one day. So I just did a little bit each on each of them just to get them started. So that is the center of the drum, that little sunflower, and that's it for the start. This is 36 count natural linen from Zweigart, so it's not over dyed or anything real fancy. The drum instructions call for 36 count fabric. Actually, I think Vintage Country Mocha is the called for. I didn't have that in 36 count, but I did have this, and I really like this, and I think it'll look really good when I get it put together. So that's why I chose that. 36 count means I'm stitching 1 floss thread over 2 linen threads. And her called for colors are DMC, Weeks Dye Works, Gentle Arts, and Classic Colorworks. And as of now, I plan to use all the called for colors for this one. But as I'm stitching, if it doesn't work very well on the fabric, a particular color, or I just kind of change my mind or whatever, these 3 projects, I have all the floss all combined together because some of it is overlapping. So I may make some swaps on the individual charts based on what's in some of the other charts, if that makes sense. So that was A Witch in Her Garden from Brenda Gervais. I make sure I have that in its sleeve. Number 6 is Hallows Eve at Raven's Hollow, again from With Thy Needle and Thread. She just designs the cutest witches, so hence this this witch theme in this particular grouping. And here is, yes, my teeny tiny start. I mean, this is really teeny tiny. Look. You wanna know what that is? Let me show you the chart picture. See these 3 yellow flowers? I have just the yellow stitched. And it's very possible that this is stitched in the wrong yellow or gold. So it may need to get torn out, frogged out before I move on. But I'll decide when I pick it back up because I may keep it because it looks good anyway. So like I said, I have overlapping colors with these 3 and I may make substitutions here and there. This particular piece of fabric is 40 count Endora from Needle and Flax. I love Rachel's fabric just as much as I love Jukas's, and Endora is the perfect Halloween fabric, in my humble opinion. So 40 count means 1 floss thread over 2 linen threads. And just to show that nice tiny start, again, I am planning to use called for colors, except I think one, I'm doing a DMC substitution that is used on the other charts. And then like similar shades of gold, but might be different dyers, you know, different brands of floss. Those are very minor changes. Everything will be, it will look basically like the picture, other than obviously my linen's a little different. So that's number 6 in the start parade. Number 7 is Witch's Night Out again from Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. And you get to see a whole lot more of a start on this one. This was one of them. Well, this was the third one I started out of this grouping, and I knew I was going to start them all in one day. This was the last one, and then I got a little further on this, and then I could not put her down until I had the witch finished. Isn't she cute? Love, love, love her. I think she is adorable. This is stitched on 40 count Steinbeck from Needle and Flax. I am using, just double checking, again, called for colors with a few minor substitutions here and there, just because it's what I have in the bag. But again, this is another really beautiful color that's just a little bit spooky for Halloween stuff. So that was Steinbeck from Needle and Flax. And I have loved stitching this so far. And this one was really hard to put away because, I'll show you the chart again. It's not that big, right? I mean, I already have the witch done. I need to add some vines, the moon, obviously. I got to stitch this big cauldron, which will take some time, obviously. But honestly, in the picture, it looks bigger than it really is, like in terms of the number of stitches. So I think if I committed to working on this one, I think I could probably have it done in a couple days of stitching time. So that is the Brenda Gervais portion of the Halloween stitching in our parade of starts. And let me show that beautiful bag one more time. Love, love, love it. Love the fabrics. Love how Tara makes her bags. Love, love, love. All right. Did it again. Sorry. I do that while I think. So now in my final project bag of the parade of starts, I have 3 more, which is 8, 9, and 10. Here is another Tara bag from Starryowlstitchery. And let's see, can I remember the fabric line? I think this is Urban Chicks, and it's something like Owlween. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but this is not my normal sort of fabric choice. It's a little, I don't know, but I love it. It's just a little different for me, but it's so cute. And the projects that are in here are so awesome. These do not have necessarily a specific tying together theme. So number 8 is from Tree of Life Samplings, and it's called Penny Treats. Now this is an older chart. I don't remember the year on it. I do know that Jan has an Etsy shop, and I think it's called Tree of Life Samplings. And if you really liked this, you could go get this chart in her Etsy shop, which I think I bought. That's how I bought it, I think. And that was quite a while ago, a couple years. Again, I've had this kitted up for at least a year, probably longer, and just haven't pulled it out. And so this is perfect reason to do that. So there is the chart picture. And of course, why am I stitching it? I don't know, could it be the name? Maybe that cute penny border? All right, let's see my start. Okay, not as small as some, not as much as others. Here is my start. So kind of small. Again, I did multiple starts in one day. I did 2 of these in one day, so this one didn't get a ton of time, but a little bit. This is 40 count Grandpa's sleeve from XJuDesign. That means 1 floss thread over 2 linen threads. I am planning to use all the called for Weeks Dye Works flosses. Again, I may need to find a couple of substitutions here or there because of the fabric and how the floss works with the fabric. So that's my tiny start, but I love this fabric and I think it's gonna look really fantastic on there. If you can tell from the picture, it's not the greatest of pictures, right? But that should be really fun. And just one more time, here's my start, and I can talk about this. You'll notice most of my starts, I have been starting in the upper right corner, and that is how I most often start my projects. I used to always start in the center. And once I started doing some bigger, more like sampler projects, I had to start more like in a corner. And at first I would do like upper left, back when I was using a Q-snap. Since stitching in hand, and I tend to work up and down when I'm stitching rather than left to right. And so starting in the right hand, I'm right-handed, starting in that upper right corner is what works best for me with being stitching in hand. So that's that about where I start. You'll see some that I start, maybe I'll do the top, middle, or something like that. And that just depends on the project and why I decide to do that. You know, maybe there's no border to start in the corner, and so it'll be really difficult to kind of count over to where, you know, the first part of the right side is, or whatever it is, you know. Number 9 is up next. This is Plum Street Samplers, Grimm's Haunt. This is another one that I wanted to stitch for a while. It came out last year in the kitten stitcher box, and I was like, oh, I gotta have that. And thank goodness it was released this year so that I could get it and be able to stitch it. I just love like the ombre effect of the barn. It's so awesome. All right. There I go again. Let's see my start. Okay, this one is, I started the top center. And I don't know, just I felt like that way I could make sure I had enough fabric, I guess. And I got that whole top pumpkin done. This is 40 count Hemingway from Needle and Flax. And it's very beautiful, and I think this is going to look really awesome on this when I get it done. It's wonderful to stitch on. I am stitching with the called for flosses. It's a combination of DMC, Weeks Dye Works, and Classic Colorworks. So that is start number 9. Grimm's Haunt from Plum Street Samplers. Thank you for your patience as I continue to put everything in its package or in its sleeve. So I think I can show you this one really quick without showing any chart issues. So I have 3-ring binder sleeves. This yellow paper has all my notes. So like I'll write the name of the chart and I'll list out the flosses, and then that way I can keep track of what I need when I'm kitting things up. And then I also write, once I have decided on my fabric is written on this page, this sleeve is great for holding things together in the project bag. But then also when I put away my charts, like once I'm done with this one, I'll put it away. The chart fits in the sleeve along with my notes. It goes in the binder. And then if I ever wanted to look all that information up, I have it all. So try to be organized. I'm doing okay with that. And number 10 in our parade of starts is Plum Street Samplers again. This is Grim Gourds. This is an older chart. I'm gonna say, I think the year on it was 2012, and I discovered it at least a year ago, probably more than a year ago, and went searching until I could find it and get it. I know that fairly recently I have seen that Kitten Stitcher has it in her online shop. So if you really liked it, I think you can find it there. And you could give that a try if it was something that you were interested in. I love the Halloween peacock and the grumpy gourds, the Grim Gourds as she has titled it. Here is my start. This is an upper right corner start, as you can see. And I'm really enjoying the colors. This is 40 count Hemingway again from Needle and Flax. So when I planned out these two Plum Street charts, I liked the same fabric for both of them. And so cut a piece for each of them. The called for floss on this one is NPI Silks. And let's see. Oh, she does give a DMC conversion. I then took the DMC conversion and I planned out my own over-dyed floss conversion. So I am stitching this with over-dyed flosses. And basically, a lot of it is leftovers, or I think I bought one floss that I liked the color and I didn't have enough of to stitch the whole thing. Let me see if I can kind of hold this up. I'll attempt it. And like I said, if you have questions, you can let me know. We'll try it. Let's see if it goes this way. All right, so there are my floss choices. So you can see I have 4 Weeks Dye Works and a Classic Color Works. And they're gonna look fantastic on that piece of linen. That's what I love. So that is Grim Gourds from Plum Street Samplers. And that wraps up the parade of starts. Let's talk a little bit about some happy mail that I've received since I last saw you. This first one is a belated birthday gift. Here is what it came in, well, this was the main part of the package. This is from Michelle. And so obviously beautiful project bag. I have no idea who made it because there's not a tag on it. So thank you, Michelle, first of all, for that. And then it was filled with stuff, of course, because you can't just send a bag, I guess. She sent me a really nice card, and she sent me the Halloween book, Hello Halloween, from Teresa Kogut. And zipper pull. That's the phrase I was looking for earlier. It came to me finally. A Teresa Kogut zipper pull was also in the bag. So cute. Now that I'm showing it to you, I'm thinking, oh, what can I put that on? I need to put that on a project I have going. And then this adorable little pair of scissors. Can you see that they're copper? Yes, she knows that I love all things penny. And then she got me this, which I have never seen these before. It's a wooden ruler and it says Penny's daughter shares. Isn't it gorgeous? Oh, I love it so much. It is from, here's the tag on it, Piper and Sage. Is that focusing? I'm not sure, but there, I don't have a website or anything, just the name, Piper and Sage. So that is my birthday gift from Michelle. Isn't it awesome? Oh. And now I can start using the bag, you know, because I have a few projects ready and up in line that need a bag. And then I also got a belated birthday gift from another Michelle. And I think I've talked about this before. There's a lot of Michelles in cross stitching. So it makes me laugh. I am one of the few that spell it with one L. Most everyone spells it with two L's, which is what I've seen my whole life, not just in cross stitching. Anyway, these two gifts that Michelle sent, first of all, one is for my birthday. One is a Halloween treat, is what she called it. And I had such a hard time opening them because they were so prettily wrapped. So my birthday gift, look at this paper. And then I had this beautiful ribbon wrapped around it. So I couldn't, see, as it is, I still can't bear to get rid of it or, you know, not have it here. So, and for my birthday, is a piece of linen, and I know there's a tag on it. Here it is. Okay. It is 40 count coffee bubbles from graham cracker fabrics. So what Michelle told me is this is one of her favorite kinds of fabrics. I have never stitched on this, so I'm really looking forward to it. And now that I'm sharing it with everyone, I can work on figuring out what project this is going to go with. It's such a beautiful, light but not too light, neutral color. I'm really excited to try it. And especially, I mean, if it's recommended from Michelle, then I would think I would like it too. And then the other one, same thing. Look at it. It was wrapped in this awesome paper with a fancy black ribbon. And then check out the cute card. And she sent me, oh, sorry, the birthday one says birthday girl. And even, I think it was my daughter, Vivian, who was like, Mom, she wrote birthday girl on there. So fun. Anyway, the Halloween surprise. I don't have everything here anymore because it contains some yummy, yummy cookies that are, now I don't remember. Michelle, were they from Portland or from Seattle? Michelle lives in Seattle. The cookies might have been from Portland. They were fairly local to her though. And they were shortbread and they were dipped in dark chocolate, and I've since eaten them. Sorry. So I can't share those. But here is the inside of my box for my trick-or-treats. But she said it's no tricks, only treats. Look at this zipper pull. See the little like acorn? It's so cute. Cannot wait. I'm gotta put it on a bag right away. And then she sent me 3 I can't even think of what they're called. 3 skeins. Words are hard. 3 skeins of Cottage Garden threads, all in Halloween shades. I absolutely need to find something to stitch these with. And then this really awesome linen, which is, look at this color. I think it's showing pretty good. And it is 40 count Vintage Mermaids Firewood by Dames of the Needle. So that is my Happy Mail, which was Halloween treats and belated birthday gifts. Let's talk about a few purchases. I'm going to start with something that I found on one of the Stash Unload groups on Facebook. And it's something I've been looking for a while and happened to find it and decided I needed to buy it. So it is from the Cricut collection, Cross-Eyed Cricut, number 9. See this bunny here? And there it is again and again. That is why I wanted this chart. It is something that my mom and I had, and I am 95% sure that I stitched that bunny probably on white 14 count Aida back in the day. I have no idea where it is. I don't know if I stitched it for a gift and it was given to somebody and it's who knows where. I don't know. But this is one of those ones that is just stuck in my head and I really wanted to stitch it again. Mostly for sort of the nostalgia of it, and it was something that I had done with my mom. So anyway, I got that, and I don't know, I have a hard time buying just one or having a chart come by itself. So the person I bought it from also had this cute Needle Love Company chart, and I love this one especially. And I've stitched one of these before that has the reindeer in it. I don't even know, last winter? I don't know, whatever it was. So you may have seen that before from me, but so anyway, that's from Stash Unload. Then I'm going to blame Lisa of Little Annie Z for this next purchase. It's her fault because she showed this on one of her videos. Is it 2 videos ago? I can't remember for sure. I apologize, Lisa, I can't remember exactly, but she showed that she ordered a seam ripper, and see how fancy it is? Then when you have to tear out your stitches, it doesn't make you feel so bad if you get to use something pretty. Well, you know, you can't buy just one, so here's another. So I got a silver and a copper in that. And then let me show you because and that's not all, of course, but here is the shop, Never Not Knitting and Sometimes Sewing. I ordered from her Etsy shop, but she also has a website. Oh, and it does show up here on the card. So it's nevernotKnitting.com. And I ordered this, and I think I had it within a couple days. And it's so, like, the 2 seam rippers were all packaged up in this, and then I haven't unpackaged this because it's so cute. So I ordered the scissors, the scissor pocket, scissor holder, and then this is a scissor chain. I don't even know what it's called, but you can see, like, there's a loop there, so I could clip this to here and clip it to the scissors. And then I think there's even a magnet inside the pocket to hold the scissors in there. And I thought that would be really fantastic to have, you know, like on my stitching table, so my scissors aren't just sort of sitting out with the point and everything. So, and it's pretty. So, and you can't buy just one thing. I mean, you can't send it by itself and it'd be lonely. So Never Not Knitting, and blame Lisa for showing us that stuff. Let's see, what's next? I have the new Brenda Gervais With Thy Needle and Thread releases. I pre-ordered them and I got them since I last talked to you. And I have them all kitted up. So first one, Reindeer Games. And this chart comes with 3 wooden ornaments that you have to finish yourself, you know, do the finishing yourself, but because they're just bare wood. But it comes with the 3 ornaments. And like I said, I have the flosses, have that kitted up. I fell in love with all of these as soon as I saw them released. Snow Magical. That snowman is so darn cute. So yes, these are definitely on the list for starts. Peppermint and Pine, and let me turn that. Look at the birds. Oh, love, love, love. I can't wait to stitch this. They're so cute. And finally, the Light of Winter. And I just saw on Instagram today that Brenda shared a picture of the Light of Winter and Winter Rose Manor together, framed separately, but in a picture together, the 2 pieces, and how they complement each other in her design plans when she designed them both, and how they are companion pieces. Can't wait to start this one too. And you knew that I was getting this one. Talked about that for a while. So all of those, add those to my start list. And then I really have no business buying fabric, but because I need to sew again, but I couldn't help myself. The new French General line. So it's a half-yard bundle. What is this? Chateau de Chantilly. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Probably not. But isn't it gorgeous? Love, 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 love French General. Love it. And I want to play with it. But seriously, I have no business buying fabric when I'm doing all these starts, but it is what it is. It's so fun, and I can at least put it here on my shelves and look at it and enjoy it that way for now. We are going to move into the plans portion of my video, and I'm going to start by asking for some help. I need a few extra cheers and encouragement because I have not done any FFOs in a while. I don't, early September, and before that I hadn't really done many. So, and I've been really interested in the starts, and before that was getting this big beautiful sampler done, and just finishes or FFOs haven't been happening. So I am going to show you a short little finish parade of the fall and Halloween things I have ready to FFO, and I really, really want to try to have these FFOs done before the end of October. So any positive vibes, any cheers you can send my way to help me just get in here and get them done, I would appreciate. And so let me show these to you really quick. And a couple of them you have seen fairly recently. So, but I just wanted to show you the 5 that I really want to get done. So up first is 4 Seasons Folk Autumn from Hands On Design. This was the retreat project for Chantel's 141 Pep Rally retreat this year. And here is my finish. So I have it all stitched. I just need to fully finish it. I have all the supplies because that was given to us as part of the retreat, all the supplies to fully finish it. So it will go on this board, and if you've seen other people have finished it and shared it on Instagram and other Flosstubes even. So all I have to do is assemble it basically, and why haven't I gotten that done yet? I don't know. I stitched mine on 32 count Exemplaire. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. Exemplaire by Color and Cotton. Sorry for the loud noise. That is the school bus. And 32 count, that means 2 floss threads over 2 linen threads. I used the called for colors, which were all DMC, except where you see this darker red, I substituted in Classic Colorworks Campfire, and it was called for to be a shade of blue. I wanted more of a fall color for myself, so I'm going to try to keep these somewhat organized and somewhat straight so I don't have to re-iron them, because everything has been fully ironed. Up next is another fall finish. Turkey Love from Plum Street Samplers. This is an older chart. And again, like Grim Gourds that I showed in my starts. I'm pretty sure I saw this also on Kitten Stitcher somewhat recently. Not that I looked yesterday, but fairly recently I saw this was available on her site. So, and there's probably other places you could find it too. I'm just telling you what my sort of information is. And here is my finish. By the way, I plan to frame it and I have the frame. Why isn't it done? I finished stitching it last fall. I don't know, but here it is. Isn't it cool though? I stitched this on 32 count Nantucket from Color and Cotton. Is it better if I use my board? Probably. That means 2 floss threads over 2 linen threads. I think the called for on this is some sort of silks, and Paulette gave a DMC conversion. I used mostly the DMC conversion. There are a couple of colors that I substituted my own choice of overdyes, but that were similar in color to what she called for. The main one that you can tell is in the house. I wanted some variegation in the house, and that is Gentle Arts Country Redwood. So that is a finish that I want to get fully finished. Number 2. Number 3, I don't have a chart picture, but you saw it recently. It is Pumpkin Blossom Inn from pinkernpunkinquilting. If you go to her blog, this is a free chart that Melisa graciously lets all of us have use of, that she designed. And I did my own, let's see, her called for colors are all DMC. I pulled all overdyes out of my leftover fabric, or out of my leftover flosses. I stitched this on 20 count Hazelwood from Fiber on a Whim. And I'm not sure how I'm going to finish it. I'm thinking maybe a pillow, but I don't know for sure. So, and you know, let's face it, I just finished that not that long ago, so it hasn't been lingering around for a while like some of the other ones. So yeah, I just have to figure out kind of what I want to do with that one. And then this one is, I'm pretty sure this is an out of print chart. I found it on Stash and Load. Brace Face from Raise the Roof. Here is the chart picture. Now the butterflies are buttons, and I chose to leave those off. Here is my finish. I have the finishing piece, which is basically a sort of like a wood block frame kind of piece from Hobby Lobby that I'm going to put this in. So basically framed finish. Have it all ready. I just need to put it together. You're going to see that theme here several times. I stitched this in honor of Vivian and Justice, both getting their braces last summer, so summer of 2022. Finished this during Halloween time last year, and it's still not fully finished. It's stitched on 40 count bird cage from XJuDesigns. And let's see, I used some called for, some I substituted. I mean, it's an older chart, so some of the colors are not really the same anymore, or I couldn't find them or whatever. So it's mostly in the same feel of how it was designed. I did use Krynic for the braces. And then you can see some extra initials. Again, I was honoring the fact that Vivian and Justice both got their braces. So that was number 4. And number 5 is from Not Forgotten Farm. I finished this last year in the fall. The Reverend Gordon Squash Bottom. There is the chart picture. And let me get my finish out here for you. I feel like I'm taking a really long time to show things today. This is my finish. Now, let's see. What did I stitch it on? 40 count Endora from Needle and Flax. If anyone is familiar, Not Forgotten Farm Lori also has Prunella Squash Bottom, which is almost the same exact size piece. I have that kitted up. That is a start very soon. And I actually have 2 frames that I bought, so I can frame these up in the same frames. And I'm going to stitch her also on 40 count Endora from Needle and Flax. So 1 floss thread over 2 linen threads. This is charted in all DMC. I did a color and cotton conversion of my own. One, because I had all kinds of color and cotton from the monthly clubs, and 2, I wanted some variegation in the colors of some of these things. So like his pants, his head, his jacket, the kitty, like you can really see some of the variegation there. And I changed the year because the year that Lori has charted was not important to me. So I made this more important to me and my family. So 1998 is the year of Jeff and I went on our first date. And if you're familiar with that story, if you've been around, that from our first date, we consider that our inseparable date, and we've been together ever since. So 1998 is a really good year for us. So that's why I put it there. You know, that it was also October 10th, so close to Halloween, and in the fall, thought it went well with this. So again, have the frame all ready. Let's get it put together. So that is my 5 finishes that I really want to get FFO'd before the end of the month. And again, please help me, help encourage me. So those are a big part of my plans. The other part of my plans, let me grab my notes so I make sure I'm not forgetting anything here, are some more new starts, of course. And actually, I don't think that I've mentioned that, so I wanted to explain that here now, is that I don't know if you noticed sort of the theme in a majority of my parade of starts. They were Halloween or some fallish, but mostly I've been just trying to get all of my kitted up Halloween things that I wanted to start. I've been working my way through that. I think I have 2 more left, one of them being Prunella Squash Bottom, and I can't remember what the other one is off the top of my head. Then I want to move into all of my fall/autumn starts that I have kitted up and ready to go. I want to get all of those started. So I'm going to have another big grouping of starts all at once, kind of a bundle. But I know that I'm going to get to some seasons that aren't as start heavy. I don't have as many, specific kits or whatever. So I am going to do some Halloween starts and probably get at least some of the fall starts in there too, before I see you again. The other big start that I would really like to work in is my project, which I didn't grab it, so I'm just going to tell you the words really quick, that I originally was going to do for the BAP to School sale that Lauren, New Hampshire Stitcher started, which I had originally planned to start on the first day of school, and life has interrupted me. So I would really like to get that started because I think that that would be really awesome to pull out and put a couple of threads into every day or almost every day, just kind of to keep working on it because it's such a big project. So that is AKGIT from Modern Folk Embroidery. And it was big, 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 big. And I've talked about it before. So I would like to get that started. I don't know if it'll happen, but it's in my plans. That wraps up plans. And I have talked and talked and talked today. So I think now is a good time for me to tell you thank you so much for sharing your time with me, and I will talk to you soon.